Jim, where do you see the Department of Agriculture going from here?
Well, the Department of Agriculture is basically a regulatory agency. I mean, number one, food safety and animal safety. That's the number one priority. I like to tell people that there are 10 million people eating every day safe, wholesome food in Ohio because of the laws we have and the inspection process we have in the state of Ohio. Having said that, Governor Kasich would like to see this agency being more of a promoter of agriculture. And so we're looking forward to working with outreaching to ag businesses. And when I say agriculture, you know, there's 200 different things in agriculture. Farming's one of them. But there's J&M wagons in Fort Recovery. There's Kill Brothers. There's agronomists, and there's a lot of different jobs. And the Kasich administration wants to see the Department of Agriculture work through the new Jobs Ohio and help promote agriculture. Ellen, there's 75,000 farms in the state of Ohio, and we're losing about 700 a year. And Indiana is gaining. So we need to take a look at what we're doing wrong here in Ohio and start promoting agriculture.
Well, and along that line, with all these changes that we see in the administration, and how do you see that fitting into that whole scheme?
And there are a lot of changes, Alan. And if you start with the U.S. Senate with Rob Portman, and of course the Governor and Secretary of State, all the statewide offices, locally here with Jim Jordan in Congress. And of course, he's been there a while, and Senator Faber, who I have a great working relationship with. These are all people that believe in smaller government. And so a lot of people say, you sponsored House Bill or co-sponsored House Bill 25 that reduces a lot of departments. Well, that's the new type of Republican mindset, is less government, less government. And if we're duplicating things, let's find out what we're duplicating and eliminate one of them. But we're going to stay on our core mission, and that's food and animal safety. But we're going to look at maybe bringing in some other departments from development or whatever that we're going to also promote agriculture.
You know, going forward, we talk about changes you're going to make that we see happening in the Department of Agriculture. Myself, as a small business owner, you know, employing 12 people in my business, as well as being an active farmer, you know, we face a lot of government. And what do you see the benefits are going to be to the small business person, whether it be workman's compensation, streamlining a permit process, or anything like that?
Well, Ellen, you mentioned two of the biggest, and workers' compensation is something that Ohio needs to address. And again, this is one of the that Governor-elect Kasich has been very vocal about. When I think about my district, and the calls that I get the most often are related to workers' compensation. And Ohio is only one of two states, us and North Dakota, that have a monopolistic state where you have to buy the insurance from the state. And we need to, again, be competitive with other states that may come to insurance agency like yourself and buy workers' comp. And you can do that in other states, and also the regulatory process. Senator Faber is working very hard on the regulatory process right now with Lieutenant Governor-elect Mary Taylor. And we are going to see some changes in the regulatory climate here in the state of Ohio.
Well, and as a small business owner, and Steve Brewer is a good friend of mine as well, you know, and I was having a conversation with him not too long ago, and he said, you know, my wife has a small flower shop, and he said it's just incredible what we have to deal with from that side of it as it relates to the regulatory and all the other things you have to deal with that really can slow down small business and slow down the small farmer, slow down being an economically competitive force.
And you're right. And the small business is the economic engine of the state of Ohio. And farmers are small businessmen. And we are the engine that runs the state. And so we need to be able to have a more friendly business climate. And I know this new generation that's coming in right now gets it. They get it. And we're just looking forward to working with you know, Senator Brewer, who's a great guy, and Senator Faber and these guys that get that smaller government is better. Right now, the state of Ohio is the biggest employer in the state of Ohio. And we have 60-some thousand employees in the state of Ohio. And so that creates quite a few challenges.
Jim, people are always wanting to get more information. What would be some of the best resources if the farmer wants to get in touch with you or find out more about what's going on in the Department of Agriculture?
Well, certainly you could go to their website and find out everything about the Department of Agriculture. But as far as getting in touch with me, I take pride in being very, very open and accessible. And as a state rep and as a county commissioner, I was that way. In fact, the first thing I did was open up a district office in Greenville, which was in the dead center of my 3 counties, Mercer, Darke, and Preble. So as a director of agriculture, I'm sure that we'll continue to have social media, Facebook, Twitter. These are all great avenues, and you can become a friend. I think that's the term everyone uses, and it's a good way to get updates, and a lot of times you can get response both back and forth on that. So I'm just looking forward to being in touch with everyone that has an opinion, and of course there'll be people that if I can't answer your question, hopefully we can get somebody to do that.
Jim, thanks for being with us, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Ellen, it's an honor to be here, and again, what a great television show, and thank you for interviewing me today, and you say hi to Dan Wilson.
I'll do that.
All right.
We'll be back with more in Ohio Country Today right after this.
For more information about today's show, or to suggest a topic, fax, call, or email us today. We'll be back with more in Ohio Country Today.